All right, hey guys, so here is the trick from my perspective. And for any of you that are asking, I'm using the Mowl surveillance for this tutorial. So let's jump right into the learning process. So first things first, this is kind of one of those really interesting tricks where everything kind of happens at one time. There's kind of two major things that are happening in this trick, and so it's important that you understand each concept before you try them both at the exact same time. So let me break down what's going to happen. So step one of this trick is you're just going to do a normal negative 1.0. Just like that. So that's a negative 1.0 for any of you that are wondering, negative 1.0 hook. If you don't already know how to do this trick, I highly recommend you just look up some tutorials, or you can just slow this video down and see how I'm doing it right here. And so just make sure that you know how to do negative 1.0 like that. Now, once you've done the negative 1.0, basically what you're going to do is just roll the yo-yo over onto this string right here. So just kind of roll it over like that. You're going to notice that there's kind of a lot of things like in the bearing, and so that's going to make the yo-yo want to snag a little bit. So don't stay for too long in this configuration because it's definitely going to make your yo-yo want to respond. But once we've done the reverse hook just like that, and we're going like that, here's where the trick actually comes into play. So I'm going to teach this trick in progressions because when you do the trick, as I said before, there's two things happening at the exact same time. And so basically, I'm going to teach this trick in progressions. So step one, once you're in this proper mount right here, what I want you to practice is just simply letting this string right here, so the string that is connected to the pointer finger of my non-throw hand, letting that string fly around the yo-yo when you release it. So when I do this trick, basically what's going to happen is the string that's right here, so this loop is going to go around the front of the yo-yo, back to normal. And so you'll notice that when I go like this and I let the string go around the front of the yo-yo, just like that. That's what you want to happen. Now, it is easier said than done, so make sure you practice this step quite a bit. But basically, with this first progression right here, I want you to focus on having this string, this like kind of loop right there, going around the front half of the yo-yo, just like that. And when you're doing this trick, in order to make it go around the front of the half of the yo-yo, you kind of want to like kind of almost flick the string a little bit. You kind of want to move your non-throw hand arm a bit in a counterclockwise direction, kind of like that. It'll really make the string fly out from the gap and just allow you to do this trick. So when you do this, make sure you kind of flick it like that so that that string really flies out from the front half of the yo-yo. In addition, you can also raise your throw hand up just a little bit when you're doing this. That'll also kind of make the string fly out a little bit. And so what I want you to do with this first progression, again, is just practice having this thing fly around like that. So over and over, just let that string fly over just like that. And so the second progression kind of builds right off of that one. And basically what I want you guys to focus on doing is that once you have this string kind of flying around the gap and it's looking all good, I want you to focus on catching that by grabbing it with your non-throw hand just like that. So when the string comes around, I want you to focus on just grabbing it with your hand. And again, that's easier said than done, so you're definitely going to want to practice this. And so once that string comes around, take this entire hand right here. So that process looks like this. So notice when the string just came around, I just took this hand right here and grabbed it. Now, what I want you guys to do is, this is going to be the third progression. I want you guys to focus on popping the yo-yo up and whipping really quickly into the back half of the yo-yo with your throw hand. And so this is a really common whip that I think a lot of you guys may already know. I'm not going to really like teach it here because I think it's just an important one to know, and so you can just slow down the video if you want. I just don't want to waste any time with like these easier concepts. And so basically you're just whipping into the back half of the yo-yo like this. I do it all the time, just like that. And so what I want you to focus on with this progression is I want you guys to focus on whipping really quickly. So kind of hop the yo-yo up into the air and whip really quickly, like really bring that finger around and just try to whip really quickly into the back half of the yo-yo. Really get this motion down because it's going to help you along the way for when you're combining the two steps, which is going to be our next progression. But for now, again, just remember, move this hand in a really quick kind of like clockwise circle, like that, and just whip in as fast as you can. And really get that step down. It's going to make it a lot easier. And so now we're going to kind of jump into our final progression. And this is the hardest step of the trick, but it's just putting all of that together. So essentially what's happening when we're doing this trick is that the string will swing around like this, and you catch it with your non-throw hand, and at the exact same time, you're going to whip like that into the back half of the yo-yo. And so that's exactly what we're going to do with this last progression. I just want you guys to try and put it all together. So you're going to, again, just normal setup with the reverse hook or negative hook, swing on like that, and now you want that string to just fling around, and you bring your non-throw hand and whip into the half of the yo-yo. Your configuration should look like this, and you should be able to drop with your pointer finger of your throw hand, just like that, and do whatever you want. You can bind. And so again, what's happening is that this string is flying around, and at the same time, this hand is going to come around and you're going to catch the string. So since there is a lot happening with this trick, I'll include some great slow-mo right here. So be sure to break down what's happening with each one of my hands, my non-throw hand and my throw hand. Watch what's happening with these two and see how they're interacting with the yo-yo and everything. And so that really is the trick. If you're not getting a certain part of this, I would recommend just going back to the progressions. So if you're not getting, maybe if you're having trouble with catching the string when it comes around, that step, make sure to go back to that progression and just practice catching that string. It's all about the progressions that build up to the final trick that are gonna help you learn it quickly. And the same goes for any other step of the trick. If you're having trouble, whipping into the back half of the yo-yo, knock a couple of these out. Just repeat over and over, see if you can keep doing it and get those consistent, because eventually you're gonna put them all together. It's just gonna look like that. In addition, make sure you have, minimal to no string tension when you're practicing this trick. It'll just make it a lot easier, but that's another thing you can look into if you're having some difficulties. But yeah, I'm gonna go through the trick just one more time and then you guys will be on your way. So we're gonna do a negative hook like that, swing the yo onto this string right here. We're gonna throw this string kind of around the yo-yo, and then we're going to whip into the back half of the yo-yo, and this string right here is gonna go around the front half of the yo-yo in a counterclockwise motion, all together just like this. And that's it.